canceled because of issues COVID related to the opponent of New Mexico a couple of weeks ago. So this finally the home opener for the Rams. Colorado State won the toss, will receive as the border war is underway yet again. And on the return, Thomas Panunzio brings it out across the 20, still fighting hard for some extra yards and works it out to the 30-yard line. Excellent run for the junior. And Colorado State will start on offense. And as expected, Patrick O'Brien, redshirt senior from San Juan Capistrano, California, gets the call. Last season came in, started the final 9 games of the year. And you see that completion percentage, 62% Malik, almost 3,000 yards.
He was looking good last year and especially looked good last week. I think this is going to see a lot more balance in this offense, and you're going to see a lot more explosive plays from guys all around the field.
Little play action to begin, and throws to the outside to Dante Wright, the electric sophomore who sat out last week along with Ty McCullough, 2 speedsters as wideouts for the Rams due to COVID protocols. They're back tonight, and they should add some explosiveness to this Rams attack. As you look at the starting unit here for Colorado State, Trey McBride, one of the best tight ends in the nation. And at running back, Marcus McElroy gets the call, working it forward out close to the 45-yard line.
Offensive coordinator Joey Lynch was expecting a lot from Dante Wright, especially getting him back in the lineup. I'm expecting him to find many ways to put him in the lineup to take advantage of the mismatches against a Wyoming defense that's going to come and bring that pressure.
This Wyoming defense so good at stopping the run. Wright with speed can get things done in the jet sweep, but the Cowboys expecting it. Slowed up there by C.J. Colden, and Chad Muma, the middle linebacker, who had a team high in tackles last week, helps out of the stop.
This defense is ran by their linebacking core with Charles Dickens and Chad Muma being able to make the calls and be aggressive in leading the team in tackles. This is what you want to see.
2nd and 8, calling to McElroy. And the 6', 235-pound senior motioning forward. Flag down on the play. Stephen Barron is our referee tonight. We'll check it. They did pick up the flag.
3rd down, I'm expecting some pressure. You see the man lineups. I'm thinking to go to Dante in this play.
3rd and 5. O'Brien may have been tipped at the line. It's short of the intended target, right. Keontae Clinton out there in coverage. So an opening pass, but time to punt it away here for CSU.
You can tell there was pressure in his face coming, but he made the right decision in throwing it to the open man in Dante Wright. And I think that's what the CSU offense likes to see, quick decision making, but next time he's got to get that pass completed.
Ryan Stonehouse on the punt. Dante Crow set to return. Stonehouse, one of the best in the country. Hopping around the goal line. Can the coverage scheme get there? Not in time. Let's see. It will be a touchback. See the hustle here from CSU to try to keep it in, but it does cross the goal line.
The ruling on the field is a touchback.
Here we go, Levi Williams making his appearance again this week. He did a lot of great things last week, but like Coach Bowles said, he has to improve on his accuracy against the one-on-one coverages that they had last week. They're going to pack the box. You know they're going to do everything they can to stop the run. How is Levi Williams going to make that growth and having a better completion percentage than 50% completion against a favorable matchups on the outside?
Sean Chambers, the expected starting quarterback, down with a leg issue. 3rd play of the season in the opener against Nevada. And Williams coming in off the bench. He'll give here to Valladay. And the junior has it sniffed out pretty well. The Rams ready for it as you look at this offensive unit. And Malik Keegan-Kreider leading that gifted and beefy offensive line.
Oh, they're huge across the board, and they're very physical. You got a guy like that going to be able to hold down the offensive line and make the right calls. Everything is about making these combination blocks so Valladay can hit that 2nd and 3rd level and use his breakaway speed to hit the end zone.
Loss of 2 on the play. Play action here. Williams going to launch long and overshoots his intended target. That's Isaiah Nair, who's been a good deep threat with 3 catches for 102 yards in the opener. And the Wyoming coach is looking to get him involved in some touches early.
You get a corner blitz, and then you see a nice seam route by Isaiah, being able to run past the safety. The safety's got to be playing more over the top. But then again, you got another opportunity where you got to hit the wide open play, because that's a touchdown if Levi Williams connects on that pass play.
Look at the defense for Colorado State. Juan Jackson making all the calls from that Mike linebacker spot.
Expecting some drop 8.
You see the Rams back on. They'll rush 3. Time for Williams. He's hit as he throws. Intercepted here by Colorado State. And the return down the sideline to the house. Touchdown, Marshawn Cameron with a pick 6 for Colorado State.
What a way to start on defense. We talked about our guy Levi Williams being able to complete the ball against on the outside, and they dropped 8. Colorado State dropped 8. He lost contact of where the corner was. He sunk under the pass, and he picked it off. Levi Williams has to do a better job of not staring out the outside routes, because there's people out there. He didn't see it, got picked off, and what a return for a touchdown to put Colorado State up in this robbery.
Holding, offense, number 69. That penalty is declined. Result of the play is a touchdown.
30 yards on the INT TD.
Levi Williams checks late to the opposite side of the field, loses traction of where that corner is, and throws it with pretty much blindly. But then you see a great return and for a touchdown, and this is how you want to get up. You want to put the ball in Levi's hands to make them play the pass, and they did a good job on defense.
This freshman from Phoenix for the point after. It's good. So Colorado State forced no turnovers last week against Fresno State 15, and they have a leg up in this game thanks to the first career interception as a Ram for Marshawn Cameron. The kickoff here for Colorado State. Jonathan Terry will knock it deep, and Wyoming will try to pick up the pieces after giving up 6 here on this play.
Taking a look at this pass play, it's a simple read. You got 2 stop routes in the middle of the field. He's going to go action, reaction. He's going to look towards the field and look towards the boundary. The problem is when you have a drop 8 coverage, you have a lot of time, a lot of defenders out there. The zone guy moves away, and he ends up playing right into the DB's hands. He sank right under it in drop 8 and returned it for a touchdown. Levi Williams has to buy time in the 3-down drop 8 coverage and find guys in the open holes. That one wasn't there for him.
Second pick here in 3 games so far this season for the redshirt freshman, who did play 3 games last year for Wyoming, including starting and leading this group to the win of the Arizona Bowl. Williams looking to find his man out of the backfield, and that's Valladay. You talked about his dual threat abilities here, Malik. Last week, Fresno State torched Colorado State with plays out of the backfield. Their running backs caught passes for more than 100 yards.
Absolutely, and that's what makes them so dangerous, the ability to be able to have extended handoffs, throwing it to the flats and allowing guys like Valladay to make plays. Colorado State gave a lot of 3rd and longs because of the flats, so let's see if they can correct that this week.
5 yards on first down. To give to Valladay. Pushing forward, Logan Stewart gets a piece, and Valladay drags him a little further. 32 carries, 163 yards, 2 touchdowns in the 31-7 win against Hawaii last week. But don't sleep on Trey Smith. We'll see him as well. He almost went over 100 yards with 2 scores on the ground, too.
These 2 backs are combo backs, lightning and thunder. Trey Smith reminds me a lot of Wayne Gallman out of the New York Giants. He used to play for Clemson. A slim power back. You wouldn't expect that a lot, but he's got a lot of power, and he's run straight forward.
Fake on the jet sweep action to Crow, and Williams trying to get forward for a bit when Britton, who's been active so far, and now after making that hit, comes off holding his left shoulder.
This is what Colorado State wants to do. They want to be able to put the Wyoming offense behind the sticks. That way you have to put the ball in Levi's hand like they did the last 3rd down and make him play from the pocket.
On 2nd and 10, flags fly, whistles here. Does complete it to the outside. Valladay, Cameron Carter there in coverage, and we'll see about this latest call from Stephen Barrett.
Ball start. Offense number 5. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
And that's Nayor, one of the wideouts for Craig Bowl.
I got to hold your water there.
Looking to make sure he was lined up right and moved and flagged for.
Sort of a slow start for this Wyoming offense. They got to find a way to catch some momentum. Levi Williams is best when the offense is playing for momentum, so they're going to have to validate further past the line of scrimmage, maybe try him on an outside route, get him in there so you can get Levi Williams some rhythm.
You see a timeout here for Wyoming. Again, things not to their liking. And a team that does not get called for penalties too often. Craig Bowl, stickler for things, has instilled just such a winning formula
Wyoming
for
has
this
called
group.
their first timeout of the half. Full timeout.
Cowboys do spend their first timeout. And talked about winning last week with that game, but you'd mentioned it before, Malik. 77 plays, 59 on the ground. They're able to get that lead and continue to build on it. As you look at the Tums Fast Facts, first meeting for these rivals back in 1899. Colorado State leads the overall advantage, and that bronze boot been awarded since 1968. Wyoming trying to win it for a fifth year. It's the 75th year in a row these teams have met. They've met every year continuously since the end of World War II. One of the great rivals and rivalries here in college football for these foes, about 65 miles apart in neighboring states. Williams here with Crow now motioning as a second setback. And this is Smith powering forward. And in the middle of the line, Ellison Hubbard able to help drag him down.
Now, these are the favorable moments for the Rams defense to see if they improve from last week. You got another third and long situation. Let's see if they can hold these guys. I'm expecting another drop eight coverage. They had a lot of success with the last third down. You can see they're going to probably do some shifting and motioning to try to get those guys mismatched just so Levi Williams can find somebody out of the backfield.
Colorado State got punished on these downs last week 5 times in 3rd and 10 or longer. They either gave up the first or gave up a big play, and this time they get a big play, forcing the fumble, and Manny Jones is on it.
What a play by the Colorado State defense, creating
On the
chaos.
field is a fumble recovered by the defense. First down, Colorado State.
I mean, look at that chaos they created on defense. They showed him a drop eight look, but then they brought the pressure from the weak side, and Levi Williams didn't see it whatsoever, stepped up in the pocket, and you see the corner once again making a play, and he's being intentional. He's not looking to blow up the quarterback. He's looking to make a play on the football. That's what a true ball hawk looks like. You get a turnover and good field position for your offense. I mean, the defense is playing spectacular right now.
How about this, Malik? Manny Jones had the hit on Williams that led to the interception to Cameron. That time Cameron had the hit. Jones gets the fumble return, and Colorado State turns it into another 6. O'Brien to McBride, and like that, it's a 2-touchdown lead for the Rams.
That's what you want. You got to ride the momentum. Trey McBride, a big offensive piece for this offensive.
Boys try to compose themselves here. Back-to-back turnovers leading directly to Colorado State touchdowns, and Wyoming in a 14-point hole.
Wyoming has to do a better job of starting better on first down. When they get in these opportunities where they're playing behind the sticks and they're relying on Levi to pass them on to a first down, it's becoming a little difficult. He's getting confused by some of these looks.
Just 2 turnovers combined in the first 2 games, and 2 here on the first 2 drives of this 3rd contest of the season. To the ground game here, and that's a nice positive play. 4 yards on first down. Muhammad Kamara there on the stop. As you see, the story of the 2 turnovers. First, the pick 6 from Marshawn Cameron, and then he's got the hit and the recovery by Jones.
Let me tell you what, Marshawn Cameron has definitely done his film study for preparing for this week, and he's making plays all over the field.
O'Brien and McBride did cash that in for another score. And inspired stuff here from this Rams defense. Carter coming in for the stop. And Chuck Heater who's been around a long time, over 40 years as a college assistant, second go-around as defensive coordinator here at Colorado State. He was here with Earl Bruce for a couple of years in the early 90s. You could tell there was passion this week for this group to correct those mistakes, especially on those big third down plays they were victimized last week.
Oh, absolutely. Chuck Heater's not afraid to step up to the challenge. He's been around football a long time.
Looking for a jump is Colorado State, and the flag is thrown. A little discussion here between this officiating crew.
Offside, defense. Player entered the neutral zone, causing a reaction from the offensive player. 5-yard penalty, third down.
So Jackson coming in. It will go against Colorado State. There's Chuck Heater. You know, college coaches had passports, Malik. His would have a ton of stamps on it. He's been here, there, and everywhere. Coming back here with Colorado State and has this group turning up the wick here at the outset of this rivalry game. Valladay churning forward again. You talked about his running style here. He's got the ability to put a foot in and move, but also he's got straight ahead strength.
The ability that he has at his stature is kind of like Tony Pollard out of the Dallas Cowboys. His ability to be explosive with his spin moves and his one jump cuts in a tight space shows how dynamic this guy is inside and outside of tackles. He's hard to bring down, but Daquan Jackson has made it his mission to make a play on that today. 6
rushes, 18 yards so far. You see third in the nation in yards from scrimmage this season. Williams fires complete this time over the middle and gets it done to Aiden Eberhardt across midfield. First down, 21-yard pickup for the Cowboys.
Even with a good pass play and a good completion, they're putting pressure on Levi. They're making him uncomfortable. Even on plays, he's making completions. So we got to see if that offensive line, which is massive in size, can hold up so they can keep him off the ground and keep his nerves a little bit down.
Toby McBride applied the pressure that last time. Smith subbing in for Valladay, and he'll run it forward. The graduate transfer started his career at Louisville, his second season on the field for Wyoming. Son of former Jacksonville Jaguars wide receiver Jimmy Smith. He'll check out. 2nd and 8 here for Wyoming.
One thing that's really interesting is Chuck Heaters knows that the offensive line that he's going against is way bigger than him, but finding ways to shift that line and bring in defenders from the second level to still create pressure is something amazing about him.
Pressure coming for Williams, and he's forced to gun it early. It's low and offline, looking for Valladay. Carter coming right up the gut, looking to apply the pressure.
And that's exactly what we're talking about. They know that they're not the biggest, but they're going to shift and bring in single defenders, straight line that you have to solidify in the protection. I think Levi needs to spend a little more time delineating which guys are coming, and even if they are, be able to make the right throw to get the hot read out.
Cowboys 1 of 3 on third down so far, coming into the game 35% of the season from the 39 of CSU.
Expecting some pressure here.
Williams fires to the outside. It'll be short of the first down, complete to Eberhardt again. Tywan Francis, the junior from New Orleans, there with the stop.
If I'm Wyoming, I'm doing exactly this. I need momentum. I need this drive to continue to take some pressure off my defense, and this is a critical down early on in the game. I'm expecting him to find Valladay somewhere in the flats and to get him the football so he can make those plays and get a first down.
4th and 3. Wyoming's gone for it on 4th down twice so far this season. Gotten it both times. They won't get it this time. Valladay gets stuck. It's Jackson who read it all the way, and CSU will have the football yet again.
So surprising to see this Rams defense be more aggressive than the aggressive team on the other side. Wyoming's defense is known to be the aggressive defense, but this time the Rams are turning up the heat. They're bringing in pressures, they're slanting the D-line, and they're making Wyoming very uncomfortable. This is heating up right here in the first quarter.
To the speedy sophomore.
That's the guy we was expecting, Dante Wright, to use his speed. And look at Patrick O'Brien just throwing it to open space and letting this guy go get it. That's a great play.
Colorado State not wasting any time, trying to go for the kill here early against the Cowboys. This time, McElroy on the ground. Again, Todd Centeio started at quarterback last week for Steve Addazio. Again, a couple of top wide receivers out, thought his work with the ground game could do some things. He ran for almost 100 yards. Colorado State had a 10-7 lead at one point, but things stalled. And when the game was out of reach, O'Brien came in as a replacement and led the Rams to a late touchdown. But he's in from the get-go tonight and complete to McBride. There's a look at the transfer from Temple, who did some good things with his legs, but missed some targets, had some other balls drop Malik, and we do expect to see him at some point tonight. But you wonder, with O'Brien in this offense chugging along, when will that spot be? Or will the starter from last year keep on cooking? McElroy powering through, lugs it close to the 10-yard line. A host of Cowboys there on the stop, including Golden and Braden Smith.
I think this is the opportunity we get to see this Rams offense be at full strength, and we can see how complete they are and how balanced they are, being able to run and throw to keep this Wyoming defense on their toes. We're not used to seeing them being backed on their toes like this before.
McElroy stopped. Good pressure up front. Now a flag coming in late. Cole Goodboe had the penetration. The sophomore from Hudson, Wisconsin, blowing up that play, but there is laundry on the field.
Holding, offense, number 52, 10-yard penalty, first down.
Adam Karutz, one of three Boston College transfers that followed Steve Addazio here to Fort Collins that make up part of that line at left guard, center, and Karutz at right guard. That'll back up the Rams.
It speaks a lot to Addazio's relationships with his players. For he to have three main guys follow him, it shows that he's a great coach on and off the field.
O'Brien again off play action. He has the ability to move a little bit too, but not able to move that far with pressure coming from the Cowboys and dragging him down.
Wyoming stepping it up, not allowing guys to get behind them as much like this, but you're seeing a Wyoming defense that is playing better on the defensive line. And like we said, we don't expect Patrick O'Brien to move a lot around in the pocket, but when he does, it is surprising, but he can get some yards on his feet as well.
Caleb Robinson bringing on the play there for Wyoming. 2nd and 21. O'Brien to the outside. Wright latches onto it. We mentioned Ty McCullough sat out COVID protocols last week. Of course, the big game breaker, Warren Jackson for Colorado State from last year, opting to prepare for the NFL draft. So one game breaker gone. Cam Butler, another talented guy, as a playmaking tight end, lost for the season. So the Rams glad to have Wright back, and they have utilized him a lot here early on. 3rd and 17 from the 18. Pressure coming, and O'Brien goes down. Does hold on to the football. You see the heat from the backside. Isaiah Gandy able to get the stop, and a key defensive. The SEC on CBS. Top 10 matchup, Florida and Georgia. And Mr. Malik Zaire, you understand a little bit about this rivalry back in 2017, going through the moves. How about this play? Explain to me what this looks like in the playbook.
It's something you've got to draw up in the sand. When you're losing like we were in that game, you got to do anything to survive the drive. And, you know, with a guy like that, you can make plays, right?
Absolutely. Wyoming trying to make some positive plays on offense here. Smith with the carry there on first down. How surprised are you with how this is shaken out so far?
It's surprising on the offensive side of football for Wyoming. They look a little confused by some of the looks, and they're not getting the yardage on 1st and 2nd down in the running game like they're used to, which is putting them behind the sticks and putting more pressure on Levi.
It's interesting. Wyoming showed great improvement from the loss in week 1 to the win in week 2 against Hawaii. And now Colorado State, after the loss in week 1, showing good improvement so far here into week 2. Williams just waiting, trying to heave it and can't complete it. Looking to set that up to the running back again, but coverage excellent there for CSU. Scott Patchen applied some pressure as well, the transfer defensive end from Miami.
CSU is staying home. They know that they're not getting a lot of run action on the front side, so they're staying home backside, waiting for those rollouts, and they're sitting right, playing right into the Colorado State's defense, and you're gonna have to switch it up. You're gonna have to stretch the ball down the field so you can loosen up such a tight coverage that the Rams are showing tonight.
There's 25% efficiency so far, converting third downs for the Cowboys. This is 3rd and 5. This one complete, but it'll be short. Cameron right on top of Eberhardt there for the reception, and that looks to be short of the needed yardage. 4th and 2, and from inside your own 40. It's punt time here for the Cowboys as Nick Knoll is out.
The Rams defense has their card. They know they're not going to throw anything past 20 yards. The guys, even when they're playing in man, are not backing up. They know where their sticks are. They're playing everything in front of them. And it's going to be a tough day unless they find answers down the field.
So Dante Wright back to return. But from Knoll, fair catch signal out there. And handled at the 28-yard line. 36-yard punt. The graduate student from Bradenton, Florida for Wyoming. Steve Adazio again comes in here, takes control of this program after 7 seasons at Boston College, a couple at Temple. Again, he was part of a staff with Urban Meyer at Florida, won a couple of BCS national titles, and try to put his imprint here on what he wants from Colorado State. And you hear Steve Adazio talk. He said, we want to be a physical, tough team that can run the ball and stop the run and be explosive. Who does that sound like? It sounds like the guys on the opposite side here of the field in Wyoming. Run forward here for Ajon Vivens.
And you're absolutely right. The identity that Steve Adazio wants to set for that offense and for the defense of the Colorado State Rams, he wants to be physical in nature and aggressive in nature. And this is the little brother ideology versus the big brother ideology. Wyoming has already established that with Craig Bowl for so many years, and the tradition is strong. Colorado State wants to emulate that, and they're doing it tonight.
5 wides here for CSU. O'Brien will go up top to the outside looking for E.J. Scott. It's incomplete, but multiple flags down. You saw the coverage there from Smith and Colden, and it looked like contact against the DBs of the Cowboys.
Pass interference, defense, number 31, 15-yard penalty enforced from the previous spot, automatic first down.
Don't think it's 31, think it's 21 there in Colden, and yeah, that'll look like it when you have a hug of the receiver.
Little too handsy by
running wise.
Offensive coordinator Joey Lynch is doing a great job of playing an over-aggressive defense in the Cowboys, formationally lining guys up to be able to have explosive plays. Like we saw in the last play with this huge run that the team lined up in man-to-man, had nobody on the field side, and you can tell from the booth, guys, that that was going to be an explosive play from the beginning. If you're going to play an over-aggressive team, you need to find explosive plays in the run game, and they did that with a double guard pull to the short side of the formation.
Saw Joey Lynch, left Ball State, his alma mater. Last year, the Cardinals there, their offense, top 25 of the nation in total offense and rushing offense, led the MAC in scoring total offense plays per game. And again, really didn't get to showcase it, was frustrated. They had a 10-7 lead again, remember, Malik, during that first half, and then they had 8 successful drives where they either punted, turned it over, or turned it over on downs, just bogged down in the middle of that game. But they have been much crisper here in week 2. That play blown up immediately. Red on the outside by Gandy. He was right in the face of Nick Elroy.
Weak side pressures have been hurting both teams. As you can tell, there's nobody on the backside. Their guard and the tight end have to be able to log those guys coming on the extra. And, you know, that's a good play by the Wyoming defense. It's very important to see Joey Lynch is more comfortable calling plays consistently in this drive as opposed to last week with Ty Centeio coming in and having creative plays.
3rd and 13. O'Brien 5 of 7, making 6 of 8 passing now on the right. tacks on some yards after the catch to get the first down.
Dante Wright, the guy that was missing out of the offense last week, you see the impact that he's having this week. It's simple things like this. They're going to take advantage of his speed in every way. Throw it out to him in the flat, get it to him down the field or one-on-ones, but these are the things that's going to make them dangerous as an offense. Finding Dante Wright and then coming back with that run game to push the ball down the field.
6 of the completions for Colorado State. There's 6 completions, 4 of them have gone to Wright. You're looking at the red zone brought to you by Verizon. 70 yards on his 4 catches for Wright. First down here. And first and goal from the 10. Nothing doing for McElroy. Again, Muma, smart, rangy middle linebacker there with help from Victor Jones, the junior from Sacramento, California.
I really like this Wyoming defense, even though they've been on their heels a lot today. When they've gotten down in the red zone, they've tightened up in a really great way. You see him Muma and you see him Dickens being able to make plays on the running game and stopping them short. I want to see what this red zone offense is looking like from an execution standpoint on the Rams side.
Jay Sauble, defensive coordinator for the Cowboys, trying to see if his team can make a stand again and force another field goal try.
Maybe we can see a little RPO action with Patrick O'Brien and Dante Wright, putting a defender in a spot that's unwinnable and making that defense step up to that run. They're playing the run very well. Let's see if we can sneak behind Dante Wright in the RPO.
3rd and goal. Pressure coming. O'Brien driven down. And another big stand from the Cowboys. Braden Smith attacking from that strong safety spot for another important stop.
Another double A-gap pressure. You're just not going to have enough guys to block
here for CSU, the 17-point lead early second quarter.
For Colorado State to be at home and playing so well without fans in a rivalry game shows that this is intensity for them, and they're trying to prove something. They want to win at this game compared to the last 4 that they lost.
You know, Wyoming last week, its home opener, the local COVID regulations there allowed them to have fans. They had about 6,700. Craig Bowl said they were noticeable and loud. Steve Addazio wasn't really sure how it would be here with no fans, but his team has responded to the challenge. And now again on defense, Brennan, remember, went out holding his shoulder. He looks good right now because he let in and made the stop.
Oh, these guys are playing with no fear. And the biggest thing that they're doing on the defense is tackling the defender with one guy. A lot of times Valladay gets so many yards after contact because not one guy is bringing him down. Tonight, the Colorado State Rams are putting pads on that guy and bringing him down with one guy.
12 rushes so far for Wyoming for 14 total yards. That is not like the team that rushed for 281 on the ground last week against Hawaii. Let's put pressure on Williams, this time able to find Eberhardt. Nifty little move. He'll cross out past the 30 and pick up the first down for Wyoming. And with Carter there on the stop.
One thing to mention about Coach Addazio's style of play, when I played him at Notre Dame versus Boston College, he had the #1 defense in the country for turnovers. And tonight, we're seeing that culture kind of translate tonight with the amount of turnovers and chaos they're creating on defense. They had a lot of All-American players while he was at Boston College on the defensive side of football and made it really tough for us. Even though we was a good team at Notre Dame, anytime we played Boston College with Coach Addazio back there, we knew we was going to have some problems on the defense end.
And a timeout taken here. See the
Wyoming
first down.
has called their second charge timeout of the half.
7-4 advantage for Coach Addazio. Craig Bowl takes another timeout. Second here of the half already for the Cowboys as they try to steady things at this junction. Tomorrow, 8:30 Eastern, join the Inside College Football crew. They keep you updated on everything happening around the nation, deliver the top headlines of the day, right here on the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. Those guys have fun talking football, and right now, if you're Coach Addazio, this has got to be fun. Again, coming in, trying to instill your brand of football, the new program, dealing with all the COVID restrictions. Addazio said, you know, with all of that, he said, I'm still learning my team. We're going to try and win as many games as we can. I don't want to sacrifice the building of things just to win a game. We want to build the right way, but it takes trust. It takes time. And his team is really galvanized so far as they collapse on Valladay again. McBride leading the thrust along the interior line.
Well, partner, I think you're right. They definitely have gotten a chance to take in that message. They've definitely galvanized around each other and are making plays. They're not afraid to bring that physicality to a team that's physical. They're bullying the bullies right now, and it's something that Wyoming's going to have to play better on.
Valladay, 8 rushes, just 13 yards. Wyoming trying to get him on track. Maybe they can loosen things up in the pass game, and it's complete. The deep threat, Nayor there. Williams with a strike under pressure. And the Cowboys into Colorado State territory, 32 yards on the pass and catch.
That's what we love to see, hitting the one-on-ones when they're open. It was a great throw while getting pressured. He's been getting pressured while he's throwing all night, but be able to make this play right here to a guy who they expect a lot from. 6'3", Nayor is looking to make big plays down the field like he did tonight, and hopefully we can have more explosive plays like that moving forward.
Redshirt freshman from Fort Worth, Texas with the grab. And now Valladay getting some space. Burst through. Another first down here for Wyoming. Carter finally dragged him down.
We know this team is built off momentum. Once they get those combo blocks in between the tackles, we know Valladay is going to hit that second and third level. And this is where you make guys miss. When you have momentum, the team is moving fast, and this is where we can see a potential score here to settle down this Wyoming offense.
21 yards to set it up from the 14-yard line. 1st and 10. This time it's Smith, and Smith will dance to the end zone. Cowboy touchdown.
Trey Smith making it look easy. He didn't even have a hand get touched on by the Rams defense. They may have been tired or maybe out of position, but when Wyoming runs tempo offense like this with those beefy guys up front, they're going to get some push on some guys that are kind of tired. I mean, they've been making plays all first half, but now that Wyoming offense, when the running attack coming, it's going to be hard to stop it all game. And like that, nobody touching the guy straight to the end zone is going to be interesting moving forward.
Right tackle Frank Crum, right guard Logan Harris blowing open a nice hole. John Hoyland on for the extra point. And Trey Smith gets his 3rd touchdown in a 2-game span. A much-needed score for the Cowboys. Finally on the board in the board award. 7 takes it in for 6. Protocols at various points. They needed a backup running back, and Vivens became the guy. And it's funny, he actually backed up McElroy this season in high school. Both with the Mullins in Denver as O'Brien goes to the outside, complete to Nate Craig Myers. Picks up another catch of the season at 4 last week against Fresno State. How do you like the look and makeup here of O'Brien Malik? He looks really comfortable and in rhythm so far.
O'Brien looks like he's picking up well from last season, just dinking and dunking, making the easy completions, but in the red zone is where it's going to count. He's going to have to execute down there.
And came into the 4th quarter against Fresno State with 7 of 10 for 82 yards and a touchdown. He's 7 of 9 so far in this game and moves again. Kind of known as a pocket passer, but he runs better than you think. And you see him signal that he moved the chains.
Like you said, he's not known as a runner, but when he gets out, he can make plays, and his deceptive speed that's catching Wyoming on their toes. I don't think they expect this guy to take off more than 5 yards, but when he does, I think they're giving him too much benefit of doubt, overplaying, and like that, he's making it look easy. He looked like Ty Centeio out there.
9 yards and the first half. And the rifle here to the outside to Trey McBride. 8 catches, career-high 130 yards for him last week at a touchdown against Fresno State. First team All-Mountain West, and he is a tough cover.
As you can tell, you can put Trey McBride outside one-on-one. You can put him in line with the offensive line. He's going to get the job done regardless. As you can tell, he's running crisp routes against a defensive back and still getting the completions. That's how special of a player he is and how big he is for the CSU offense.
3rd grab of the season. So his brother Toby makes some impact plays earlier on the defensive line for CSU. O'Brien under pressure. They'll just send that one to the bench area of the Cowboys. It'll be 2nd and 10. Victor Jones coming in to apply some heat to O'Brien. There you see what this tight end can do. He is a unique weapon.
He's unique in every aspect, and they don't even put the way he blocks on here. The way he blocks is really the most impressive thing ever because he can make the inline blocks just like a tackle or an extra offensive lineman. That's key for this running game to even be more effective down the line.
Steve Adazio says succinctly he's a next-level tight end. Flanker screen to right, and you see the speedster devastating Wyoming's D again. Another big gainer. Braden Smith finally tracking him down, but a 22-yard pickup for Wright.
They might have to keep going to this play, throwing it out when the box is too loaded. Wyoming likes to play in the box to stop the run. You're getting soft coverage on the outside, and they're taking advantage with a speedster and Dante Wright.
5 catches, 98 yards already for Wright. They try to get him going on the run game, and a flag down that may be a face mask. Or a horse collar, we'll see, as you saw Wright adjusting his pads. Now the pads were already kind of out of sync from the previous play. It looked like it may be the face mask.
Personal foul, face mask, defense, number 6. At the distance to the goal from the end of the run, automatic first down.
Keontae Glinton called for the infraction.
It just shows you what speed can do. When you're running that fast, you're going to have guys on defense trying to bring you down any way they can. And when you got a guy like Dante Wright at his stature, you got guys that are reaching. They might grab a helmet, a jersey, a knee pad, whatever it takes to bring him down. And this time it was the face mask, and it cost the Wyoming defense even more.
Personal foul penalty sets up Colorado State inside the 15. Single setback is McElroy. He'll get the give, lost the football, but hops back on. Muma tried to alertly scoop it up. In a handful.
Substitution infraction. Defense, 5-yard penalty, first down.
Boy, it's been a busy night so far for referee Stephen Barrett.
We got, it's way more than 11 guys on the defense. Let's just put it like, sum it up. But the thing about this is they were trying to match personnel. CSU came out with all heavy guys. Wyoming had to match it quick, bringing all their heavy guys on, and wasn't fast enough and got the penalty.
4th penalty against the Cowboys. 8th play of this drive for CSU. And again, the run defense stout for Colorado State near the goal line. See Jones coming in early with some pressure. Muma finally with the bring down.
I would love to see a lot more of creativity in this red zone. You got an experienced guy with Patrick O'Brien. I want to see some back line, some goal line throws. Challenge this Wyoming defense that's purely just going to blitz you and play man on the backside. You got Dante Wright, the speedster. I'm sure you can find something to get him the ball in this distance.
Some uncharacteristic penalties for this normally disciplined Wyoming defense. O'Brien to McBride to the goal line. They haven't ruled it yet. Marking him down inside the 1. McBride trying to win the battle towards the pylon and couldn't quite get there.
See, I like those kind of plays. You move side to side if you can't go vertical, and they got the edge and was able to turn the corner. And who you guess? Trey McBride once again.
On a second look, did he get there? Let's see.
The ruling on the field is that the runner is out of bounds. The previous play is under further review.
So the replay booth will take a peek here. Claire Gosman handling replay duties tonight. And the knee down there, that looks pretty clear.
See, great effort by Trey being able to, I mean, you got 2 guys tackling you. You're still reaching for the pylon. I mean, he's putting everything on the line. I wouldn't be surprised to come back and throw it to him again just to give him the credit for the hard work he's putting in on this drive.
Ball never got to the pylon, but the head did. As McBride stretching out. Boy, CSU fans are so pleased to have him back as the officials go through the process of the review. There was a point, Malik, this year where when the season for the Mountain West looked like it wasn't going to happen when it had been canceled, McBride put his name into the transfer portal, but when things started to come back, he said, ultimately, I didn't want to leave my brother Toby. back for his last year of football. His family, his teammates, his home state wanted to stay here. But again, a guy who's got next level aspirations. He wanted to play somewhere to keep that level up with his dreams of getting to the NFL.
I think he realized once, especially after the year ended, that he knew he was a next level talent regardless of where he went. And being a Colorado kid himself, he decided staying was the best option for him to be around family and these great fans. And he's going to finish the season right. I mean, they're featuring him a lot in the offense. And what's better than that? Getting the ball a lot in the offense, no matter where you are, is what you want as a player.
So the review booth has done its job. Let's hear about the call.
After further review, the ruling on the field stands. Third down.
So it will be 3rd and goal here for Colorado State.
It secretly gave them a breather. Hopefully they can come out and execute with full energy to push this ball in the end zone. They've had a lot of field goals, a lot of 3-point opportunities, but this is where you make your stamp. You can put the nail in the coffin early with a touchdown right here.
Check it. It is a first down on that play that didn't quite get to the end zone for McBride on 3rd down. So 1st and goal here for Colorado State. O'Brien lunging forward with that 6'5" frame and into the end zone for the touchdown.
Very impressive by a Colorado State team, putting up close to 24 points in the first half. A big jump from last week, and as you can tell, the quarterback is making all the difference. Patrick O'Brien here on the quarterback sneak for a touchdown, but also just throughout the game making the easy plays with Dante Wright being in the lineup, as well as continuing drives down the field to be successful.
Liss on and drills another point after. 24-7 Colorado State. Patrick O'Brien threw for 13 touchdowns last year. Superb to this point. 10 of 13, 153 in the air. And the touchdown to McBride earlier. One for him on the leg, on the ground in that last drive. Jonathan Terry with the kickoff duties. Crow deep to return again. They let this go into the end zone for the touchback. And the Cowboys, with 5:38 left to go here before halftime, try to put together another successful drive as the lead here is 17 once again for CSU. Again, last week for Craig Bowl against Hawaii, kind of a game that plays all the strengths of the Cowboys. They get the lead, use that running game, and continue to wear down the opponent like they did the Rainbow Warriors a week ago.
This is a little different challenge. They can't just beat up on people going down the field having long drives. They're going to have to find ways to score, and I'm thinking that's going to come from Levi and Isaiah New York.
Give to the outside, and it's smelled out quickly. Bam Amina from Waianae, Hawaii, leading the charge with Jackson there to clean it up.
Daquan Jackson told us this week that he's been studying the game plan specifically for Valladay and that offensive line, because this is his type of game. He wants to come downhill, shed blocks, and make tackles in the backfield. That's his expertise, and he's showing it today with the tackle behind the line against Valladay.
5th tackle for loss so far for CSU. Jackson preseason all Mountain West pick. At a team high 10 tackles last week against Fresno State. Williams, time of the pocket, and rifles a strike complete to Crow. The return man can get involved in the pass game. And a nifty pickup, 17 yards to the first.
Levi Williams doing a great job of high-lowing the corner, the number 4 outside defender, and keeping his eyes flat so the defender can step up and he throw the corner right behind him. Great job and in rhythm by Levi. He didn't take a shot, so hopefully if he can stay on his feet, he can complete more passes down the field and move this offense.
100 yards in the air now for Williams. He was 9 of 18 against Hawaii for 112, added 29 on the ground. But again, the thrust of that game was this for the Cowboys, the run game, although more successful than that. A sea of green and gold there for Colorado State. Hubbard, front and center in that push up front. Chuck Heater really liked his defensive line when we talked with him yesterday. Again, this group, including Hickerson, Rooks, Patchen, transfer defensive ends, McBride, Jones, Hubbard, among the guys really doing damage on that line.
You got the transfer defensive ends. They're playing hungry. They're playing like they have something to prove, and stopping the run is one of those things tonight. They're coming through.
Little play action look for Williams, stepping up, feeling pressure again. Deep ball. Eberhardt, what a grab, rolling down to about the 1 yard line. Aiden Eberhardt, the senior from Loveland, Colorado, in this border war, stretching and getting it done.
Oh my goodness, what a catch and throw by Levi Williams. Look at this shot he's taking, throwing it like Josh, looking like Josh Allen, being able to push the ball down the field. And this is a tough catch. You're talking about a post route that he has to turn vertical to catch over the shoulder. That's something that is hard to do as a receiver. And then to stay on his feet. The Colorado State defense didn't even think he would be able to do that, and he almost got the touchdown right there. Great play by the offense.
58 yards to set up the Cowboys, 1st and goal. Looking to punish it and punch it in on the ground is Wyoming. That's Valladay right into the teeth of the CSUD. Well, you talked to Brent Vegan, Craig Bohl about the Wyoming offense. They said, look, we're going to need to throw the ball better than we did against Hawaii. We're going to need it in this game against Colorado State, and they're starting to have success, especially on some of those deep throws. The one to Nayor earlier, and now the latest to Eberhardt. Valladay, second effort. He'll dance in. Touchdown, Wyoming.
What a way to answer and respond after a great job by the Colorado State offense. And this is what you want to see. In order for the Wyoming offense to make plays, they're going to have to push the ball down the field with Levi. He's been making great plays under pressure, and then the top off the drive with Valladay punching it in. He's been a little frustrated getting caught behind the line, but this is a good opportunity for him to finish and keep him in the game. They're still here.
3rd score in the ground this year for Valladay. Hoyland with the extra point. And Wyoming responds, the latest score from Colorado State. Aiden Eberhardt.
But, you know, Clemson without Trevor Lawrence is going to be interesting to see how they do with DJ Uiagalelei playing in place of him.
Yeah, we'll see how it shakes out for that freshman. Helped lead that comeback against Boston College to get the Tigers out of jail. Another touchback here. Dante Wright, again, had to sit out and watch last week due to COVID testing protocols and contact tracing. Boy, he's come back in and made contact with the football. They're trying to get it to him a lot, and they should.
Back like he's never left. Dante Wright came in, and he came in with a mission. As you can tell, any recruit out there, go to a school where you're going to be featured. This is a freshman All-American last year, and as you can tell, missing 2 games coming back, he's getting the ball right where he left off. 5 receptions, 98 yards, and this is only the first half. Just imagine what he's going to build on moving forward.
57 grabs, over 800 yards last year, and that was with Warren Jackson alongside. 77 grabs for him, for the guy that's now prepping for the NFL. So Wright certainly expects to get more.
Start. Offense, number 53, 5-yard penalty, 1st down.
Elijah Johnson. And they'll move it back against Steve Adazio's team. 2:33 left to go here in the half.
I really want to see Wyoming's defense step up and make a play. Colorado State has been doing whatever they want to do to get down the field. It'll change the game a lot if this defense can really make a play and get these guys off the field.
O'Brien to the outside. Complete to E.J. Scott. Gets thrust into the bench area for Wyoming, and that's going to draw a flag. Azizi Hearn tried to make a play, but pushed him out of bounds. And that's going to cost the Cowboys 15 more.
Personal foul, late hit out of bounds. Defense, number 20, 15-yard penalty will be added to the end of the run. Automatic 1st down.
This goes back to the identity of the Cowboys defense. They're going to be aggressive, and they're going to gang tackle. That's one thing that they're known for. They pop on film when you cut it on just a little too aggressive.
Please reset the game clock to 2:28. 2:28.
Some costly mistakes here for Craig Bohl in the penalty category, and his team, especially on the defensive end, and that will not make him happy. Rams already near midfield. O'Brien will tuck it and run again. roaming forward, gets near the midfield, and Chad Muma with his 9th tackle of the first half.
Chad Muma is all over the field. That's what you want to see from your linebacking core. I'm telling you, these two guys, Chad Muma and Charles Hicks, are the best that they have on the defense, and they're going to set the tone if they want any chance of coming back in this game.
The run for Vivens, you saw the flag come in from the corner of the screen.
Holding. Offense, number 85. 10-yard penalty. Second down.
And now some self-inflicted damage for the Rams, courtesy of a hold from Trey McBride.
Trey McBride holding on a little too long. That's definitely going to get called anytime you have a guy fall down while your hands are extended, but it just shows just how physical Trey is. Even if he's got a one-on-one, he's going to make sure he finishes the play every time.
Yeah, he had 2 scoops of the jersey of his opposite number, Cameron Smith of Wyoming. O'Brien trying to get it to the flat, looking for McElroy, who can't hang on, and that may be a good thing because Braden Smith was lurking.
Running backs aren't always known to have the best of hands, and sometimes you have to think as a quarterback, you have to give it to him like a long handoff. Even though that was a great pass for running backs, it has to be even more precise if you want any chance. But like you said, it wasn't great that he dropped it, because now you get a third situation a lot closer than you would be if you caught that.
3rd and 13. You see 3 of 6 tonight for the Rams. They were just 4 of 15 against Fresno State in the opener on 3rd downs. O'Brien firing. It's low, trying to find Nate Craig Myers. And the Rams will be forced to boot it away.
Great stop by this defense, getting the CSU offense off the field so it gets a chance to catch up and close that gap by the Wyoming offense that's catching some heat right now. I mean, they've hit some big explosive plays. They only had 4 big explosive pass plays last week, 10 in the run game last week, but now if they want any chance of doing better, they're going to need a little bit more of that if they want to close this gap.
Saw Craig Myers getting some attention, the redshirt senior from Dade City, Florida, Auburn transfer. Trying to make that catch. Well, they were coming on that punt, but Stonehouse gets it away. Return opportunity for Everhart. Cutting it back and finally cut down. Stonehouse, NCAA all-time leader, career average about 47 yards per punt, 52 on that beauty, to make it challenging for Williams and company to get points here with 95 seconds left to go before the half. That is a weapon for Colorado State.
Being able to pin guys in deep field position and flip the field like Colorado State's been able to do, it's going to be hard to have long drives consistently of 10 plays, 8 plays, 9 plays, trying to get touchdowns. So for the Colorado State defense, this is good, having guys backed up. And now you can bring the pressure a little bit more on Levi to potentially create another turnover.
Williams catching with pressure, and a low throw to Valadez. And this defensive front for CSU doing some good things. Greg Bowles' group, again, they won last week against Hawaii. In the opener against Nevada, they fell behind, but they scored 22 points late 3rd quarter on to force overtime. They drove from the 1-yard line with about 90 seconds left to set up the game-tying field goal to force overtime before ultimately losing to the Wolfpack in the extra time. But here, we've got about the same amount of time to try to get in field goal range before halftime here. And Valadez with a big hole to the outside. Pushes another man away before finally getting run out of bounds by Logan Stewart. Another strong dash. 26 yards for Valadez.
Did a great job of catching CSU in a drop 8 coverage, meaning they're playing pass. They ran something right underneath them, and you got Valadez, who's explosive. He has that breakaway speed to hit the 2nd and 3rd level to turn a 10-yard gain into a 30-yard gain. And let's see if they can finish his drive with some points now.
10 of his rushes the first 2 weeks were for 10 yards or more. That's another one tonight. Now working his way forward. Over 60 yards on the ground so far in this game.
Offense, number 75, 5-yard penalty, first down.
Remember, they had him penned in. He was only averaging about a yard, 1.2 yards early on, but a couple of big gainers starting to loosen things up in this run game for Wyoming.
The great thing about Valladay is that he gets better as the game goes on. I know he's not huge in stature and he may look smaller on TV, but at 6 foot, 215, you know he's going to be able to withstand those hits as the game goes on and make plays. I mean, right now he's turning up the heat. Let's see if Valladay and Levi can figure something out to finish his drive.
Trey Smith in for Valladay on this play. He'll come out as an option out of the backfield of the pass game. Down the middle, it's complete. Eberhardt with another acrobatic grab. But will it stand up? There's a flag in the backfield.
Just another shot. Levi has not been comfortable all day. He's been harassed.
Holding offense, number 65, 10-yard penalty, first down.
Levi Williams has been harassed all day. But the good thing is he's standing in the pocket at 6'5", still completing these pass plays. So hopefully when they come out second half, they can solidify that protection and allow Levi to push the ball down the field because he's been pretty accurate.
You saw Cowboy player, I believe that's Eberhardt, again getting helped off after making that challenging grab stretched out and getting assistance. Williams looking to go to the sideline. And again, Eberhardt again laying out his body. We saw the big catch down the middle deep before, and now look at that awkward landing spot. Ouch.
He's giving me Wes Welker vibes, putting his body in danger to make the tough grabs, and you can tell the concentration to be able to be elevated off the ground, face the defender, and still hold on to it. I mean, that's a special play right there.
Tywan Francis had the hit as Eberhardt was trying to come down. Valladay looking to work his magic, but not much do it. Cameron there, along with Amina, and a timeout taken. Colorado State will spend one, hoping to get the football back.
This is the new iPhone 12 Pro with 5G, and it's on AT&T, the fastest nationwide 5G network.
Now new and existing customers can get our best.
Will still be forced to re-kick. It did take some time off the clock, so less to work with for CSU. Right, spinning through, and dropped at about the 35-yard line. 51-yard punt that time, 12 on the return for Wright. And see 32 seconds now here for CSU.
To see if CSU tries to take a shot first play, but if not, I would feel pretty comfortable with taking this into the half. They played great in the first half on defense and offense, putting together some drives and having Patrick O'Brien look very comfortable. He looks like a vet. He's making this look easy. Back when I used to play, we called it drill work. He's making this look just like drill work, completing the passes he needs to, and helping his offense win. Rams
need about 30 yards or so to get into the projected range for Robert Liss. Told good from about 50, 52 yards, so thinking they'd need to get to the 35-yard line or so. Again, good from 29, missed from 45 earlier for the freshman kicker for the Rams. But instead, Colorado State just going to let this run down and walk off in front with the advantage, 24-14. And when they go into the locker room by 10 or more in the border war, good things happen. They haven't blown a double-digit lead in this rivalry game since 1960.
The standard in Mountain West for not having penalties, they've amassed a lot, which has played into the fact that they haven't been as effective on offense like they like. As you can tell, the first two drives, you see turnovers from Colorado State in a rivalry game with no fans, making big plays like that. Trey McBride being able to sneak behind the defense. But the thing you see from both teams is that when they have momentum, that's when you see the big plays and the scoring come out. And like we see Valladay doing what he does best, finding the end zone. These are what I'm excited to see for the rest of this half.
Despite digging themselves an early hole, Cowboys with a couple of nice drives to get on the board. But again, the two turnovers and the penalties, 7 for 68. Cowboys came in top 5 in the nation through the first two games in fewest penalty yards, 26.5 yards per game. They way exceeded their first two games in the first two quarters of this border war. Wyoming gets the ball to start the second half. Crow on return duty. And it's Brennan help leading the charge to bring him down at the 25-yard line with a big stick.
This Wyoming team has definitely come out uncharacteristically scoring a lot of penalties that they're not used to, which has kind of thrown them off and made them a little sluggish in the first half. The second half, with Craig Bohl as the head coach, I know he's fired his team up and put them in the right mindset to come out and look efficient like I know they can.
And this Wyoming team won its 9th straight game overall going back to last year at home last week, but strangely they've lost 6 straight on the road. 5 of the 6 have been by 5 points or less. They trail by 10 as we start the second half here. The reception complete from Williams to Crow. Roaming out of bounds. Rashad Ajayi, junior from Atlanta, pushed him out. 6-yard pickup on first down for Williams. And he settled in nicely. 9 of 15, 161 yards in the air. And a couple of deep balls to help loosen things up for this Cowboy attack. Williams on the keeper. Legs it to the outside. Craig Bohl will tell you he's a sturdy guy. They've got design runs for him and looking good there to get first down yardage with another 6-yard pickup.
A guy standing at 6'4", 240 plus. Anytime he's in the open space and running the football, you have a good chance of him falling forward for extra yards, especially when you're running against DBs of a smaller stature. And that's complementing the game that Levi Williams is bringing with the pass game. So he's going to be influential in the run just like Xavier Valladay is.
From the 37, Valladay cuts back and cut down by Jackson. Good strong running for Valladay. Whistle here, player down for CSU. And now popping back up at about the 40-yard line, now taking a knee again. And that looks to be Brennan. Remember, held his left shoulder earlier the game, came back in and has made an impact, but again kind of leaning that way as he walks off with the training staff again now and kind of holding that arm. It's just dangling there, Ginger.
Yeah, he's a tough guy. He left the game with a shoulder, and now he's leaving the game once again, probably with the same shoulder. But it just shows you the toughness that Coach Adazio is really harping on. He wants these players to be tough, physical, and aggressive. And players like that, I mean, he's putting his life on the line, his body on the line to help his defense win.
Henry Blackburn, true freshman from Boulder, Colorado, got a lot of playing time last week. And coming in to spell Brennan again. Williams with time, complete to Trayor. Nayor to the outside, finally wrestled out of bounds by Cameron. But this big play guy, again, 3 catches, 102 yards, including a 45-yarder in the opener. And again, this is another strong gainer.
I love the design of this play. They gave a run look to the CSU defense, and they responded accordingly. They dropped the extra guy in the box. They had a safety trigger in the run.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, offense number 5, 15-yard penalty will be enforced from the end of the run. It will be first down, Wyoming.
Well, now Colorado State comes through with an untimely penalty to add yardage here to Colorado. Or excuse me, that's on Wyoming. That's on Nayor after the play. You saw Craig Bohl go berserk. Again, that's on spinning the ball afterwards, the unsportsmanlike conduct. You saw Stewart come in with the hit push late, and that erases a lot of that great gain for the Cowboys. Smith now gets the call. Craig Bohl's got to be hot. And again, he's had his mask on, but he may have lowered it there to kind of lower the boom on his guy. Again, the cameras caught him last week. There was another unsportsmanlike penalty against his defense late in the game that was already decided, and he laid into his defensive backs. We asked him about it this week, and he said, look, those are the type of things we do not accept.
Coach Bohl does not like putting yourself above the team, and that's a selfish decision made by New York, and they paid for it. 15 yards is not what you want, especially when you have things like this where you're having momentum taken back with sacks when you could have been a lot closer to the end zone.
Now Colorado State pushing them back a little bit further. Muhammad Kamara in there, along with Toby McBride picking up the sack.
The thing you're seeing a lot is penetration by this smaller defensive line, being able to get underneath these big offensive linemen that Wyoming has, making Levi Williams very uncomfortable in the pocket. He's not finding a very good base in the pocket to be able to set up because he's being chased around by guys that are getting off blocks and making plays.
4 sacks for Colorado State's defense last week against Fresno State. Their second of tonight. Second and long. Williams will go down again as a flag comes in. You see Patchen and Jones. And looks like it may be a hold, which will be declined.
Holding offense number 58. That penalty is declined. Third down.
So the Cowboys were in business in the red zone, and suddenly they're thrust all the way back to the 38-yard line, potentially out of field goal range unless they can pick something up here.
And this is why Coach Ball gets so infuriated with unsportsmanlike penalties, because as you can see, it's a drive killer. It's pushed these guys all the way back to third and forever against a team who's been playing great on defense, but now they're going to drop 8 and let Levi hit something underneath.
Williams on the move again to the outside and incomplete, wide of his intended target. There in Alex Brown, the redshirt freshman, Texas. Cameron tracking him all the way.
A very frustrating end to a drive where they came out and everything that they said at halftime with the plays that they were going to call, they came out and executed very well. But as you can tell, this is a rivalry game that is going to be very physical, and you're going to see penalties fly a lot more than what we're used to. And as you can tell, it's very affecting all the players on this field at the time. So Wyoming's got to clean that up if they want a chance to make this game the game that it's supposed to be.
Cowboys streaking down the field for points, now forced to punt it, and a bad snap and hit one of the up men. Colorado State swarming it, and they recover at midfield.
This is not Wyoming's day. Killing drives with penalties and then making crucial mistakes in special teams. This is not how you get back into a football game. This is not how you want to start a second half.
See the split there in that 3-men set, and it grazed one of the up men. No, trying to latch onto it, but finally Cameron caught the offensive thrust here for Colorado State.
It's giving them answers all over the field. They can go outside, they can come inside, they can run the ball outside, they can run the ball inside. And it's giving Patrick O'Brien the tools and everything he needs to be successful tonight, especially with the field position they've been gifted.
6 yards on first down, but they'll get backed up here. Bertinoli, again, who was on that play when he got hit with the snap of the last play, can do work from the defensive line spot, and a couple of sacks last week, and blows up the run play with the stop of McElroy. Gandy there too.
Trey McBride has to fax across the offensive line faster to log that unblocked guy. I mean, you know that's the key block in making this play go because you're pulling the guard. So they have to be able to fax those tight ends a lot better.
O'Brien trying to link up with McBride, but a low throw, and it'll be 3rd and long.
Great stance again by the Cowboy defense, being able to have a short field and still being able to get a 3 and out and making some plays to save their offense on the other end of the football.
That was 3rd and long, so it'll be time to punt it away here for Colorado State. And the Cowboy team doing its thing. Punt time for Stonehouse. Little pooch kick, fair catch from Crow. They'll take it as 11, and that's where the Cowboys will get it back. We'll step aside. Early 3rd quarter in the border war. The Rams 10 up while the Cowboys up front, bullying his way to. Can Patchen transfer in from Miami? Williams to the outside. Patchen giving chase again. Completes it to the outside. Devin Jennings wide out, picking up the grab. And that'll move the chains.
What I love so much about this is that Wyoming's offense has found a way to show run looks formationally to get their play actions and their pass plays to be effective. Last time they hit one with an over route with Isaiah Neyor, and that came out of a fullback style of formational offense. So when we see heavy run looks, expect big pass plays like you have the last 2 drives.
Jennings, redshirt freshman from Houston, Texas, gets his first Cowboy catch of the season. Valladay. Nothing has come easy tonight. Most times when number 6 has gotten the football. Patchen up front. Aaron Moore in there too.
Anytime we see a smaller defensive line penetrating as much as the Colorado State defensive line has been doing all night, it just shows who wants it more, who's more physical in a night like tonight. And Colorado State has been doing a great job of shutting a lot of runs down before they get anywhere past 5 yards.
And the Rams gave up 432 total yards last week in the loss against Fresno State. 300 plus in the air as Valladay airs it out on the ground. Another strong run. Over 2,000 yards in his career for the Cowboys with that 36-yard scamper.
This play was all because number 11 played out of position, chasing the ball front side when he's a quarter safety that has to play D-gap backside. And guess what happened? Valladay, being the patient, explosive back that he is, finds the whole backside and takes advantage of a miscue of placement by the free safety who played out of position.
2,036 yards to be exact right now for Valladay as he checks out. 12th player in Wyoming history to hit that mark. Smith, who had an earlier touchdown. He is a quality guy to come in. Craig Bowl said, look, I look at them both as starters right now with their ability. Valladay can get a breather. Smith comes in, and we don't lose anything.
I really love the fact that they established their identity with the running backs. There is no confusion about where they're going with the football, and to have 2 capable backs with Trey Smith and Xavier Valladay being that 1-2 combo is going to keep defenses on their toes all season.
Defensive coordinator Brent Vegan thankful to have Smith really step up. Another give from Williams. And dragged down by Devin Phillips. Vegan said at times last year, Valladay was the sole guy, and sometimes you don't want that. You need some depth at that spot. A little missed time on that handoff there. Smith checks out, and Valladay back in.
This is early, but this is a great 3rd down for Levi Williams to keep his offense on this drive. It's going to be interesting to see. I believe that Colorado State is going to show some quarters looks. They're going to make sure that Levi is throwing this football on the outside.
Wyoming is 1 of 7 in converting 3rd downs. Needs 7 on this. They'll get that. Big grab from Trayton Welch, the sophomore from Minnesota, hauls it in.
Looks like a busted coverage. You had a corner blitz, and the safety played his responsibility with a corner blitz, but he was missing the help from the strong safety. And you can see it's a busted play down the seam, and Levi did a great job of finding him, but he could do an even better job of keeping him on the run so he can score a touchdown.
25 yards sets up Wyoming in the red zone, brought to you by Verizon. Valladay knifes his way forward to the 6.
Expecting a heavy dose of Valladay and Trey Smith in this part of the field. They're not going to disguise what they're doing. They're going to run straight at you with those beefy offensive linemen, and they're just going to run vertical and dare you to stop them. So we're going to see the courage and toughness of this Colorado State defense make a stand on this drive.
Valladay, 21 rushes, 129 yards. Last year in the Border War win for the Cowboys, he had 27 carries, 154 yards. This time, the fake to Valladay. Williams looking to get to the outside. Not a lot there. Jackson chasing him down. So too was Blackburn. The true freshman burned on that earlier run, but he was on the right spot that time.
Absolutely, and Coach Adazio brought it up a lot in our meetings this week that they spend a lot of time in practice working on these short yardage situations. They don't want to give up the easy 3rd and 2s or the easy goal line run-ins. They want to make it tough as possible. And as you can tell, and as they've been playing today, they've been making it tough on this Wyoming offense to just punching in from 5 yards out.
3rd and goal for Wyoming. Williams forced to tuck it. And chase down Jackson.
Fell today, and it just is credit to the Mountain West recruiting and the ability of the league to play at such a high level. I mean, I love watching those players on the field at all times, and especially Devontae Adams playing with my guy A-Rod up in Green Bay.
Yeah, there's some quality here in this league, and maybe some future potential NFL guys on display certainly right now. Wyoming just tried to claw its way back. The early 2-touchdown hole after the giveaways were translated into touchdowns for the Rams. Panunzio on the bringback has room on the near side, pulling his way out close to midfield, finally pushed out about the 48-yard line, and a rugged run for the junior.
Once again, we're calling field position out. I mean, they're starting their drive right around the 50-yard line, and just look at the effort and the blocks. Look at number 10 putting the kicker on his butt just to give some more yards for number 18 to get down the field. I mean, this is what you want to see in a rivalry game. You want to see everybody putting in everything they got to the last whistle, and that's why they're leading the game right now.
Taiwan Francis with the big block, 42-yard return for Panunzio, with a 35-yard kickoff return against Fresno last week. In the flat to right, O'Brien has it complete. And again, we talked about the quarterbacks. Last week, we saw the starter, Todd Centeio, lead Colorado State to a 10-7 lead, primarily through his legs, doing some explosive plays. Again, at some of the skill positions, the Rams a little bit sure-handed. O'Brien came off the bench late, but he got the start tonight and has led this team the whole way. The offense looks into rhythm. Vivens to the 40-yard line, able to move the chains. Number one, are you surprised that we haven't seen Centeio, and now do you think we're going to see it?
Well, watching how Colorado State's offense has been moving so fluid, I think it would disturb the momentum by putting in a Centeio in this position. Not because he's not capable, but because O'Brien seems very comfortable and in control of this offense, that he's going to put up points as he's been doing all game. Centeio is a good option to throw in there when you're seeing some stagnation in the run game, but they've been getting everything they want on offense, so he may be taking a longer break than he wants to, but just to know that they do have him in the saddle just in case they need him.
But O'Brien has been sensational so far. 13 of 19, 170 in the air, and has looked comfortable in leading this team. And now a dart down the middle. McBride holds it into the end zone for another Ram touchdown.
What a beautiful touchdown play by the CSU offense. They had a switch releases on the...
Get to the good stuff.
Trey McBride, a force to be reckoned with, and he has burned the Cowboy defense for the second time for a score tonight.
As you can tell, this is why having Dante Watkins back in the lineup is so important. Look at much attention he causes with just the motion, and look at how the defense responds. They're making a lot of calls to account for this motion guy, and ends up cutting Trey McBride loose right down the field and leaving that guy that was in a bind on the motion left behind in the play. And Trey McBride doing what he does best, finishing the job, and that's what I'm talking about. Big man with a touchdown and getting the CSU offense back on top.
6'4", 260. Fifth catch of the night for McBride, 90 yards, the 2 scores, the touchback. And the Cowboys down 14 again as you look at our Geico difference makers. And Patrick O'Brien, boy, he has been rock solid and efficient for CSU. Xavier Valladay getting into a groove as this Cowboy offense. That run attack has done good things to come back in it, but they keep falling behind because the defense hasn't been able to slow down the Rams.
Absolutely. Another thing that's been killing them are the penalties. They get these explosive plays on offense, and they drive all the way down the field and end up getting penalties that set them back to 3rd and 4th and 22 plus.
Williams has been impressive here in the second half of the air as Valladay gets thumped right away. Manny Jones moved from defensive tackle to defensive end. He's honorable mention at that other spot in the conference all last year. Wherever you put him, he's going to get things done.
Defensive line is eating the line of the Cowboys' lunch tonight. Making plays, setting the one-on-one blocks, and making plays backside on a front-side run is something that, if you're getting that tonight, it's going to be a long day for the running game.
Double digits in the tackle for loss category for the Ram D. Almost had another, but Valladay able to groove his way back to the original line of scrimmage. Gamara leading the tackle charge. 3rd and long coming up for Wyoming. Chuck Heater has to be pleased with how his team has fared on 3rd downs. Remember all those 3rd and longs his team got burned with last week in the loss at Fresno. Said you work so hard to put yourself in these favorable positions. You want to cash it in and seize the drive right now and get the ball back for your offense. Williams, though, out of the pocket, almost connects, but Welch can't hang on.
This is exactly what Chuck Heater, the defense coordinator for the Rams, wants. He wants to put the ball in Levi Williams' hand on 3rd down. As you can tell, he does a great job escaping the pressure, but he's not being accurate enough to make the correct passes outside of the pocket to extend the drive. A lot of what Chuck Heater is doing is exactly what he wants the Cowboys offense to do. Play right into his hands, have long 3rd down situations, and then they can play softer on the back end.
Nick Noll ready for his 3rd punt of the night. 43.5-yard average on the initial ones. Right back there, looking to make a return, but no chance. Dragged down right away with excellent coverage. Wyatt Eckler right in his mug to bring him down immediately.
Dante Wright, a dangerous return man, but look at the way he was able to force him to go one way. Force him one way and be able to push him that way, and then you rally and make the tackle. That's a good job by the coverage team.
Injured Cowboy down is Cameron Murray, getting attended to right now, part of that punt coverage unit. Also on the defensive 2-beat, sophomore from Aurora, Colorado, backup strong safety. And Cowboy staff going to take its time here in working with this young man. CSU will be ready to get its offense back onto the field, try to stretch out this lead late in the 3rd quarter. Take another look at how this happened. Bottom of the screen. And you see him just kind of pull up immediately there. Not quite sure what that could be. You see the training staff working with his right leg at this point.
Those non-contact injuries you got to be aware of because they can strike at any moment. It didn't look like he had too much friction on that play, but he obviously felt something that caused him to take a seat.
Good to see him walk off, albeit gingerly, under his own power. Chuck Heater's defense doing the job again. 2nd go around for him. Was here early 90s and a lot of stops along the way. Played for Bo Schembechler at Michigan. Later an assistant at Ohio State. But here with the Rams, look, there's Earl Bruce, there's Chuck Heater. There's Urban Meyer rocking the mustache.
That's how long this picture goes back. The Urban rocking the stash. We love to see it every time we can.
See the offense here for CSU with Vivens on the run. Charles Hicks on the stop. We talked to Chuck Heater, and he was talking about that trip. He said Joe Tiller was the head coach at Wyoming back then. He said it was a lifetime ago. And again, he has been so many places, reunited with Steve Adazio. Again, they were with Urban Meyer together with great success at Florida. Heater was with him at Temple for a couple of years and then had the opportunity to come back and join him again. And his defense disappointed in how they played last week in some big situations, but they have risen to the occasion
called the first
tonight.
timeout of the half. 30-second timeout.
Timeout taken by Colorado State. You know, Chuck Heater's, again, we mentioned the stops: Ohio State, Michigan, Washington, Utah, Notre Dame, a bunch of places, Florida. How about talking some big teams, thinking about the college football playoff, and some of those stops are on this list here. This is who you think is going to make that last 4.
Well, 2 of those teams I'm very familiar with, and I don't think it's biased, but I do think it has some credence behind it. I think Notre Dame having a big win against Clemson can really solidify a playoff spot for them. And then for Florida, Kyle Trask is playing unbelievable, setting records in the SEC under a great coach in Dan Mullen. They win this Florida-Georgia rivalry game this week. I can expect them to see a very good picture in the playoff coming up.
Okay, so I'm just getting this right. So 2 of the 4 teams are your 2 college stops in Notre Dame and Florida. You just trying to make sure you keep getting invited to alumni functions?
100%. We need those tickets for the game when it comes time.
Targeting right to the outside, incomplete from O'Brien. Sets up 3rd and long here for CSU. Again, be interesting to see how it plays out. Notre Dame with that showdown against Clemson, and in this weird year, will one loss eradicate somebody? It'll be interesting to see how it all plays out, but one of them is going to have that first loss, we think, unless it ends in a tie coming, which we don't think would happen with the overtime rules these days.
But thinking about it, Ohio State has 2 wins right now, sitting in the top 5. It's going to be very interesting to see how they seed as the games go on.
Final minute here, 3rd quarter. It'll be punt time for the Rams. Time McCullough able to come in and help out of the offense. 4th and 4. Crow trying to create some magic and can't. Cut down immediately. Great work on the coverage team. Christian Cumber able to fly down and make the tackle. 43 yards in the punt and nothing doing on the return.
All 3 phases of the game have been really, really good for Colorado State. They've been playing great in special teams and defense and offense. But Valladay, he's had some numbers, but it's been a tough day for him fighting through this tough CSU defense. I mean, he's been able to break some to the 2nd and 3rd level, but it hasn't been without having some contact. But it just speaks to also how special this player is, being able to continue to get yards while having so much contact.
Williams on the design run to the outside, leapfrogs one man, or maybe that leapfrog just stepped over him as the defender went low, and Williams was able to use that tall frame to glide over top. Valladay coming back in, 4 yards in the carry for the Cowboy quarterback. And we do have a player down on the ground inside the 25-yard line, and that looks to be Scott Patchett.
Scott Patchett has been having a great day pushing the pocket and creating pressure around Levi Williams. Even though he hasn't been able to hit him every time, he's been making him known being there and been putting pressure on Levi out of his hands a lot faster.
Couple of tackles, including a sack for Patchett in this game. Pair of quarterback hurries. And a guy that played a handful of years at Miami, coming in here for his final season of eligibility as a grad transfer for CSU. His brother Matt played for Steve Adazio at BC. So the connection there, and action finding a home with the Rams. Williams fakes the give. Play action. Time. Space. Looking downfield. And a flag coming down. Alex Brown was trying to latch onto it, but Marshawn Cameron was draped all over him.
It's a great throw by Levi, throwing him the green space. And this is what happens when you throw the ball away from the defender. It requires the defender to chase, and it puts him in an uncomfortable position where now you have the ball and the receiver body in between.
Pass interference, defense number 26, 15-yard penalty enforced from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
First down and the pass interference call against the guy that started the scoring in this game with his pick 6. And that set the tone for CSU.
We will play one on time down.
2 first-quarter turnovers turned into touchdowns quickly by Colorado State. The difference in this latest edition of the Border War, the Rams up by 14 as we see who's doing some of the dirty work in this game, brought to you by Coyote.
From the very beginning, you saw how Colorado State's defense was giving it up. First 2 drives, big turnovers. And ever since then, they've been making life for Levi Williams very complicated. Even on good pass plays, he's getting hit. Valladay's getting tackled behind the line. This Wyoming offense is not used to the type of pressure that this defense is providing, and it's showing today. 3 takeaways and 14 points off of those takeaways is making the game what it is right now.
Made it tough for Wyoming, too, on 3rd down. Cowboys just 2 of 10 on 3rd downs as Valladay tries to avoid a 3rd down here. He's close to 1st down yardage. Looks like he'll be marked about 1.5 yards short. 3rd and short coming up here for Colorado State. And last week, the Ram defense punctured by Fresno State. It was 10 of 18 against CSU's D on 3rd downs, but Chuck Heater's defense has found the right recipe so far. Williams off the high snap. Nowhere to go. Toby McBride pulls him down.
And that's the staple of the game. Trey McBride's brother in on this play right here. And it just shows you what it's been like for Levi Williams all day. Somehow a lot of miscues, a lot of penetration from the weak side of that defense line. Look at that. He had a little MMA takedown on that one because Levi Williams is so big. A guy like Toby McBride needed a little extra help, and he got it from his fellow Rams on the defense.
That's 2 on the takedown there with the inside trip, and 1 in the sack category for Toby McBride, who's had such an injury-plagued career in coming back for his final season this year after missing the bulk of the last 2 years. Punt from Wyoming, and they'll down it at the 1-yard line. Excellent work by Miles Williams to hustle down there and down it deep in CSU territory. They'll mark it actually at the 2. So O'Brien and the offense will work from the breadth of their own goal line, trying to protect the ball and this lead. The number 0 for the first time. He said, you know what? I want it. I want to try to change my luck. He's missed so much time with injury. Playing in this game for the first time since his true freshman season. He gets his 2nd tackle for loss tonight on that sack. And look at the emotion to be able to contribute not only for his team, but in this rivalry game for the last time.
It sounds like him picking that 0 was good. 0 injuries that ended up being on his part.
He's been healthy, and that's been a good thing. From deep in their own territory, looking for a little breathing room here is McElroy in this Rams attack. Chad Muma double figures in the tackle category. There's Trey McBride, Toby's brother. He's got the first 2 touchdown game of his career tonight. It's interesting. Trey is actually a twin. His brother Dylan was a college wrestler for a stretch. Trey says he's a beast, and it looks like the McBride boys know the wrestling moves because that's looked like what Toby pulled there on that last sack when he took his man down. McElroy lunging forward to about the 10. It'll be 3rd and short here.
Well, if I'm the McBride's parents, I'm first of all proud to have 3 guys and 3 sons to be able to play at such a high level. And you can tell that they've had a lot of brother-to-brother battles, though, especially after seeing that takedown by Toby. If he was a UFC fighter, he would have sure got points for that one.
3rd and short. McElroy trying to penetrate that Wyoming line, but the Cowboys stand it up. Jones, with help from Gandy and others, including Charles Hicks.
The biggest shock of tonight is seeing the Colorado State defense play more aggressively than the Wyoming defense. We're used to seeing the Cowboys gang tackle, make tackles behind the line of scrimmage, and create a lot of chaos on that side. But tonight, it looks like the little brother has been stepping up today and been making plays with Coach Adazio.
4th and short. Kick time for Ryan Stonehouse. And another high boot. Backs up the return man to the 40-yard line. That's Dante Crow looking to find a way free, but nothing doing as he's ridden out of bounds. Cade Plath among those down there in coverage.
Wyoming's offense is still in the game. They're still in the game. It would be critical for them to get a score here and then to see what will happen moving forward. But right now, they're still in position to score and have a good job moving.
Big moment here for Levi Williams trying to lead the Cowboys back, linking up with Eberhard again for 15 yards in the first down. Remember, in the opener against Nevada, they were down 22 points late third quarter. He was able to get everything moving in the right direction, Williams, with this attack and help force overtime. Cowboys ultimately fell in OT, but the comeback moves were good. We expect a healthy dose of run and pass, and Valladay try to do damage on the ground. Lamar has had a nice game, the sophomore for Newark, New Jersey. Now you look at what happened in the opener, trailed 28-6, 3:47 left in the third. Again, able to get that late kick from Hoyland to send it to OT. He had another kick to put them ahead before the Wolfpack got the game-winning touchdown to take the victory. Williams with three in the backfield, trying to link to the outside, look for Jackson Marcotte, 6'7" tight end, but a little bit out of his range.
Wyoming has found exactly what they need to in order to create big plays. You see they got three backs in the backfield, a run type of formation, and they're going to be able to take these shots one-on-one. This is a play where Levi's got a hit, but at the same time, like he's been facing all day, he's been getting hit a lot while he's been able to try to throw the football. So it was a little miscue on the connection, but it's there when they have these run looks.
Daquan Jackson had the pressure up the gut against Williams. He'll sling it to the outside. That time, he's in perfect rhythm with Marcotte. And that'll move the sticks.
A little surprising that Colorado State went to a zone type of look in these downs. They've been pretty aggressive on third down and causing havoc for Levi, but this time Levi was settled in the pocket. And you can tell when he has a good base and he's not being uncomfortable in the pocket, he's going to find the open guys at least and at least give him a chance to catch that first down.
12 yards, first down from the 29. Fake to Smith, going down the middle. Eberhard again latching onto one. Close to the 10-yard line, good enough for first down yardage one more time. 17 yards on the pass catch.
Good ball fake, catching number 11 in the box and throwing right behind him. That's the type of RPOs that you wanted to see actually from Patrick O'Brien, but they're being very effectively used with Levi Williams. It's causing them to play a lot tighter, and you're getting a lot of things behind the defense.
Williams 274 yards in the air, 132 of that to Eberhard with his 7th catch of the game. 1st and 10 from the 12. And a whistle here as the play was starting, and a timeout, I believe, taken here by the Rams.
Prior to the snap, Colorado State called their second charge timeout of the half. 30-second timeout.
So the Rams spend their second of 3 in the half. Again, this defense has made some big plays early in the game, but Wyoming, Malik, has kind of settled into some rhythm offensively. They've gashed this Ram defense for 422 total yards.
And that's what makes Wyoming so special as a team, is that they're not going to quit. Even if you light the fire under them in the first half, they're going to play all 4 quarters. And when you do that, you're going to make it tough for any team to just blow you out. So for good thing for Wyoming offense, they're still in this game under 2 scores. Levi Williams is finding some confidence and making some good throws. And of course, you got Valladay, who's going to put up the numbers he's going to put up anytime he's out on the field. And it's going to be hard for these Rams to close out this game unless they get a stop in these next couple of drives.
To the pair of tight ends shift to the left side. The run from Valladay cuts back to the right, lurching forward to the 5. Patchen and Stewart among those dragging him down.
See this offensive line size wearing a little bit on Colorado State, especially in these particular situations of the field. I'm expecting Valladay to either bounce one outside or catch something in the flat to make this game a lot closer.
27 carries, 145 rushing for Xavier Valladay. Number 6 gets the call again. Into the pile. Hard work for a yard, maybe 2. Short yardage situation coming up.
Taking Valladay out on a 3rd down, you can tell that they're probably going to go somewhere with Trey Smith right up the gut or a Levi Williams sneak in some capacity.
3rd and 1. And they can get the first, and they'll get the touchdown. Williams' second effort saunters in.
6'4", 240, running quarterback sneaks is going to be tough for a defensive line that's smaller to be able to stop that momentum. Levi punching in. I knew they were going to go with Levi here because you took Xavier Valladay out, and look at Levi just being the bully he is, running into the end zone and closing the gap on this game.
Again, they've gotten him doing some more downfield passing in this game. And now the quarterback using his legs and his second effort to make it a 1-score game. The redshirt freshman roaming in, and the border war coming down to the wire again.
What do you do after you're the #1 selling brand of gas-powered handheld outdoor power equipment in America? You start making more equipment.
Kickoff from No. That'll be down in the end zone. So the Rams will have it. Patrick O'Brien came off the bench in the opener. He started tonight and continued brilliantly.
Patrick O'Brien has been a reason why this team has been in position like they have been all game. He's been able to make the right plays at the right time, taking advantage of what the defense is giving him, and giving his offensive playmakers the ball in space. Dante and as well as Trey being able to be out there, provided for him to, and look at his numbers. I mean, he's being able to not only run the football, but he's been able to put up good pass numbers in this offense.
216 in the air, 2 that way, 1 himself on the ground. Now to Wright. He and McBride have been the 2 primary targets of this air attack for Colorado State. 8th grab of the game for Dante Wright as his 3rd career 100-yard-plus receiving game. The ZZ Hearn there on the stop, 9 yards on the pickup. Bivens will cut back and get it off for the first down. The clock now becomes the friend of the Rams if they continue winding it and picking up time. And Craig Bowles' defense hoping to stop it and give his offense a crack to get back at it.
The Cowboy defense has to balance being aggressive, but not too aggressive where you're giving up explosive plays that can bust the game wide open.
Bivens. Good push up front.
What I really like to see, though, from this offense in Colorado State is that you can see the full potential with Patrick O'Brien being back there. Last week with Todd Centeio, you can tell that the offensive coordinator, John Lynch, was having a little bit of problems keeping things in sequence. Right now, you can tell Patrick O'Brien looks like he's in the groove, and this is that 4-minute offense to kill some of that clock to make the game a little tighter.
Bivens has been the leading ground gainer for Colorado State tonight. This time it's Wright who can do damage in so many ways. On the outside with his speed, Clinton on the tackle, but not before a 14-yard pickup and another first.
We mentioned how much attention Dante gets while he has these motions coming across the formation. As you can tell, they cut him loose trying to bring a pressure, and it was a little too late. He slipped behind him, and a nice, easy completion just to move the chains and kill the clock even more.
Quick little dink and dunk works like a run for the Rams. 9 for 130 in the catch category for the sophomore. O'Brien will use a lot of the play clock. McElroy falling forward. Goodbow makes sure he stays down.
Patrick O'Brien, being like the veteran he is, taking up as much play clock as possible. This is stressing out and building up anxiety on the Cowboys defense, anxious to get guys off the field, but this also ramps up the possibility of them being careless and committing careless penalties like unsportsmanlike conduct or face mask. So this is important for the Wyoming defense to stay patient and locked in and try to get this team off the field without giving up any more first down.
And important for Steve Adazio and his crew to put this game away with a lengthy drive and points especially to make it a 2-score game. In the loss of the opener against Fresno, Coach Adazio said they had a really physical week of practice, trying to establish our culture, our identity. We're in the middle of doing that. He's done it before as a head coach at Temple and Boston College. We were asking him, Malik, how long does it take to get that culture? And he said, you know, the COVID restrictions have made it more challenging. Trying to implement your systems with some limits, but they are getting things done tonight. And a leaping reception for Wright to snatch that right in front of her. 10th grab of the night for Dante Wright.
What a great completion. He sees the man coverage and he high-lows that nickel player number 6, and he just puts enough air on it for Dante, being the athlete that he is, to make a play on it, and 20 just mistimed it enough not to break up the football, and that's moving the chains. This is where you love to have a guy like Patrick O'Brien in the offense, stays calm, cool, and collected against the blitz that Wyoming bring, and they also protected it well enough for him to get the ball off first down and moving the chain.
And the clock continues to move as well, approaching the 4:30 mark here of the fourth quarter. Into the pile, thrust back by that front line of the Cowboys. It's Vivens this time. Goodbow fortifying things, but Wyoming, with all 3 timeouts, opting not to use them at this point. They'll let the clock roll down. Greg Bowl watching CSU put together a lengthy drive. 9th play of it coming up.
They're trying to bleed the clock here, take as much time as they can, because even if they get 3 out of it, it's still a win for the CSU offense, especially in the drive, trying to put the game away.
Vivens again. Excellent pressure. Bertinoli able to weave in and get it done. So Malik, if you're Craig Bowl in Wyoming, you taking timeouts here on a 3rd and 10 to save some time?
There's a lot of time left in the game still. It's just important to get the offense off of the field. Last time they got burned trying to bring a 0 blitz. Look now, what are you going to do? If I'm the defensive coordinator, Jay Savelle, I'm probably going to try to confuse Patrick O'Brien, being a veteran, show him something he hasn't seen. But if I'm Colorado State and I'm bleeding the clock like I am, I have no problem with running the ball to get in position to kick 3 points and putting the game in Levi Williams' hands.
Now Colorado State took too much time that time. Did they get the timeout in time? They did.
Colorado State has called their 3rd and final timeout of the half.
Forced
30-second timeout.
Forced to use the 3rd here, but they do avoid the penalty, which would have pushed them back 5. See Joey Lynch, offensive coordinator, out there chatting with that offensive unit. And you look at the game last week against Fresno, they only had the ball for 24 minutes to the Rams offense. They still got about 400 yards of offense. And the key plays damaged them last week. Couldn't get off the field on 3rd and long. The missed passes for touchdowns. Those plays have gone in their favor tonight, with the turnovers turned into touchdowns and the penalties committed by their opponent.
The things that they didn't execute well on last week, like you said, they have made great strides and improvements on, and this week against a tougher opponent in Wyoming, and a lot of that is due to having everybody back in the saddle. You got Dante that's back in the lineup, who's been great today, having 10 catches for plus 100 yards, and then Patrick O'Brien, being the veteran that he is, leading the offense in a convincing and poised way to put his team in position to seal the game right here.
3rd and 10. Pressure coming. O'Brien forced to Hoisted outside, looking for McBride. Not there. Hearn tracking the tight end all the way. 4th down coming up, and the Rams are going to try a field goal.
This is exactly how I wanted the play to play out. If I'm the defensive coordinator, they try to get the corner with a double move. Trey McBride.
His team the opportunity to grab it back. And interesting, the bronze boot for a guy that has one silver boot and one black boot, and we're told that they're both left shoes. He kicks righty with a left shoe. Wyoming down 10, Crow on the return. And good coverage here from Colorado State. I'm trying to wrap my mouth and my brain around the story that we told about. So the left foot, if he wears it, or the left shoe, if he wears it on his right foot, the flat side kind of allows him to control the ball better. I didn't get the whole gist of this.
Well, I thought being a left-hander was really special. Well, when you've got 2 left feet, literally, I didn't know it can come in handy in football games either. You got a guy that has, every kicker, let me tell you, every kicker has their own way of getting into that zone, and 2 left feet, I mean, I don't know if I would suggest it, but it's working for him.
Hey, if this holds up, they're going to be Robert List specials. It's sneaker stores around Fort Collins where they're going to be selling everybody 2 left shoes coming up. And you see the freshman got lifted off by his holder, Ross Ryder, and now all those other guys. You know, come on, upperclassmen don't hang out with freshman kickers a lot, but if you deliver, they do.
I tell you what, if a kicker delivers at any point in a crucial game, everybody's going to show the kicker love. But if he misses it, you can expect the opposite as well.
So now, tall order here for Wyoming, down 10 with 2:30. They do have those 3 timeouts, holding on to them till this point. Williams launching down the middle and latched onto. Good grab there, deep. As Williams is able to find space.
Another man-to-man, gives him a little stick nine at the top, gets the inside position, and Levi does a great job of just giving him a chance. You don't have to be so specific and accurate with big tight ends like that.
Yeah, that was Welch, 30 yards. And now looking for the home run ball to the speedster Crow, and just beyond his grasp.
If I'm the Colorado State defense, I feel like they're playing a little bit too aggressive to be up the amount of points that they are. I would have 2 high safeties back there. They're giving up too many deep shots one-on-one. I mean, even this right here was wide open, and if Levi completed that, it'll make the game within 3 points. So it's especially important for the Colorado State to play a little smarter down here. They don't have a really need to be pressing Levi right now.
2:15 to go. Williams goes down again. Carter comes in after the first contact from Matty Jones.
Oh my goodness, you're talking about a perfect play call. Levi Williams and the offensive line was not ready for that. They gave you a 3-down look and hit you with 4 guys. That's a shame, and it just shows that the offensive line has been struggling all day, even containing 3 guys. If you can't contain 3 guys, then you're going to have a long day blocking for him. And Levi had no chance in standing in that play, and that's the type of things that have been hampering them all game, being in the 3rd and long situation with a guy that hasn't been the greatest of accuracy down the field. I mean, this is why CSU and defensive coach Chuck Heater has been so excited with the performance that his defense has had today, holding this Wyoming offense in some tough positions.
5 sacks for Chuck Heater's D. Double digits in the tackle for loss category overall, and sets up 3rd and a bundle here for Wyoming. They did tack on a 2nd back to the clock, so 2:11 to go here for Williams and company.
This is a 2-down possession right here, so Levi doesn't have to get the 1st down all in one play. He can get something to chunk this and make it a 2-play possession right here.
In the flat, Valladay, nothing there. Patchen with help from Francis and the bring down.
That's a tough call to make when they're not blitzing you. They're just rushing upfield, and with that, you threw it right into their hands, and now you're in a tough position, 4th and forever.
4th and 21. Williams takes a shot down the middle. Into triple coverage, it falls to the turf. The Rams will take over and about to take possession back of the bronze boot.
We can't talk enough about how well this Colorado State defense has been playing. Is put the Wyoming offense in such tough positions, being third and 17 plus in majority parts of the game, and this is the result. You're getting a lot of throwing it up at the end of the game, and Colorado State has done a great job throughout the entire game of being in position and being in the lead to possibly and potentially take this bronze victory back home.
Superior work for the Rams defense. They set the tone in this game with the early turnovers. One directly scored by the D, the other set up the Ram offense in short succession. 14 points to the good right away. And Colorado State has held Wyoming at bay the rest of the way. McElroy pushing forward. Malik, you know
Wyoming
this.
has called their second charge timeout of the half.
As
30-second timeout.
Wyoming spends another timeout. Teams make great progression from that first game to the second game in a season. Wyoming talked about how much it happened from their loss against Nevada to the win against Hawaii, and you can see it for Steve Addazio and the Rams. This is a team that has not made a lot of mistakes on key plays tonight.
This has been a total difference. They've been able to execute. That's something that Coach Addazio harped on in our meetings, is that the differences between the game tonight and the game last week all came down to not executing on minor plays. And I give a lot of that and attribute a lot of that success to Patrick O'Brien being back in the starting lineup, looking like he's comfortable in his right position. And then Dante Wright making a big, impressive play today, a performance that is unlike any other, coming back from a freshman All-American season that he had last year. I mean, this CSU offense and defense is something to reckon with as they continue in the Mountain West Conference.
Cowboys do have another timeout to stop the clock. Forward here for McElroy. Wyoming opting not to take it yet. There you see Sean Chambers, quarterback that started the year for Wyoming. Again, suffering another leg issue. Fracture to that left leg, similar to the injury 2 years ago. Knee issue bothered him last year. And disappointed he couldn't be part of this border war this season, but Williams has stepped in for him admirably. It won't lead to the win tonight, but the growth continues for that young quarterback. McElroy powering forward inside the 30. Now that Wyoming final timeouts here.
Final timeout of the half.
Impressive stuff, and this is the time when you miss having a crowd if you're Colorado State, because you've ended the hex, you're gonna win the rivalry game, and there's no one here.
It's a big night for them to win. Like you said, it's been a long time since they've taken the bronze boot back home. But one thing is true, that they can possibly go celebrate in front of the cheerleaders. I mean, they've been their biggest supporters all night. I mean, they've been standing on their feet, dancing all night. So that's somebody they can share this victory with. I think they played a huge part in tonight's victory.
Yeah, they have been active there and that far side of the field. And again, it's big too for Colorado State, because next week, they got to amp it up. They're on the road on the blue turf in Boise a week from tonight. And you know that certainly will be a test and a measuring stick, another one in this conference. And against one that's been quality as the Cowboys have been, with 3 8-win seasons in the last 4 years. Mission accomplished, and the Rams, at least on this night, they measured up.
The Rams are feeling very confident going into the rest of their schedule, because like you said, it doesn't get any easier. They're facing Boise State. They're facing San Jose State. So those are the type of teams they got to get ready for down the stretch. But having a good game and a win in the rivalry against a great Wyoming, traditionally great Wyoming team, is good. A lot of confidence moving into the weeks ahead. And for Wyoming, with the quarterback still being young and Levi Williams, they still have Xavier Valladay and a lot of great playmakers to continue to have a great season. It'll even out for them as the season goes on.
And Wyoming got to get back here with 44 ticks left, down 10. Williams trying to create something, but he'll get caught from the backside. Jones again. Making a half dozen sacks.
What great hustle by Jones, not giving up. This is why this is a rivalry game. Even until the last second, he's going to hustle his butt off until he can make a play, and that's a way to cap off such a great victory by the Rams.
Williams downed it to kill the clock. It'll be 3rd down, 22 seconds left, and the Rams can feel it. You know, the coaching staff, a lot of these guys, first time part of this rivalry game. A lot of the players, though, they've been on the losing end in recent years. So you know they are about to start that mad dash across the field to go get the bronze boot and bring it back to friendly territory.
Trey McBride made a comment last night that he specifically came back to win this rivalry game, and he trusted Coach Adazio to come through with that, and they came through tonight.
Completion here. Nate Wyman with the pickup. The time going to run out here on Wyoming. And the Cowboys will look to regroup as they fall to 1 and 2. That'll do it. The bronze boot coming back to Fort Collins as the Rams go to get it.